We're here to talk about the production for Ribcage. We started with some acoustic guitar. That was this. And I think we just had those chords until we got to the chorus. So we started with this drum loop. Absolutely slammed it with a decapitator. And then just layered like some kicks and snares with it. To make it a little bit clearer, because it's ridiculous. We got some echo things. My favorite thing to do is add those really fast slapback delay things and automate how quick they're going. It sort of goes like...
What the fuck is that?
That's one of these sounds. It'd be the same. But I put the slapback like really fast. The delay's really quick. If you twist a delay, it's going to change the pitch like up and down. But if you twist the delay, play it for a sec, and then you twist it somewhere else, but don't play it and then bounce it, it'll bounce as if you've just twisted it. So it goes like... So that's how we got that sound. So all together, the drums, we get this sort of fucked up.
Sick.
That's kind of the drums. I think we added some live bass. Whenever you like go crazy distortion on bass, it sort of loses a bit of the subness. So we added a sub underneath as well. And then at the end of that, we sort of like just chucked it up an octave. Artificially. You know that song Dakiti? Dakiti? I don't know how to say it.
The Bad Bunny song?
The Bad Bunny song. It's got that really crazy underwater effect at the end. It was like...
I remember that, yeah.
It's like the most subby sounding water. And I'm like, well, what the hell? I wanted to add some like water sound and like just boost the shit out of the lows. So it's like just because I thought that was really cool. Ended up adding like talking over it. Oh shit, why did you get it? And we also added some tinnitus over it as well.
I don't know how we got to the tinnitus idea. It felt like such a rogue idea at the time.
I still think it's a bit rogue, but it's cool. I like it.
It matches with the energy of what the song's about.
Well, we wanted it to feel anxious. We were like, what's anxious? It's like a room full of people like talking either about you or just overwhelmed, overstimulated. Kind of rises. There's the water sound, there's the tinnitus. So altogether, it sounds like this. Oh shit, why did you get it? And that feels heaps anxious to me.
The mastering engineer actually cut out the tinnitus when we first sent it to him. We were like, hey, Ryan, this is part of it.
We need that.
You gotta keep it in.
Because like the song ends with just like 2 seconds of tinnitus or whatever at the end. I guess he thought it was a mistake or something. We're like, no, put it back. We added some like classic like bloops and stuff in the verses. And the bass just like...
Love them. It's giving submarine.
Oh yeah, totally like a little sonar. We just added in like a bunch of random noise stuff to make it feel really organic, I think. Because it's like quite heavily distorted and produced, and that sounds really like not organic to me. So then like I tried to like bounce it out by putting in heaps of random shit of just noise. It's just hanging out and it helps bridge it together. And then we got the shouting of the little delay throw on that, pulled back right after.
I think we did those the first time that we wrote it. The song was really like done over a bunch of sessions, like the different parts. Interesting to hear which ones were done the first time.
So then like the verse vocals, we just like added a bit of tune. Pretty like unusual. We like sort of cut off all the highs of a voice, which is not really done. And also quite a bit of the lows. So it's sort of this lo-fi.
Over on my t-shirt.
I turn this off.
Cut up like the scars at the top of my thighs. Say you want me to meet her. Oh why, oh why.
Oh, we got the vocal double. That's so wild. So we've got like auto-tune just pushing it a bit into like robot land. It's actually like hella auto-tuned, but it doesn't sound that crazy. And then we've got this doubling effect plugin, which I actually think sounds bad because I don't normally put it on stuff, but like without it.
Over on my t-shirt. Cut up like the scars at the top of my thighs. Say you want me to meet her. Oh why, oh why. Feel my tummy turning.
Yeah, but it's just like a little bit of chorus almost on the vocals, which is pretty rogue. Oh, and then we got this yell as well. We made Alana do it.
Damn.
Put like some crazy throws.
Yeah,
on there.
because it's so freaking high for me. Like I have the worst habit of writing songs that I can't actually sing. And then when we came to it, Alice was like, just push it, I'll auto tune it, whatever. I think I managed to get somewhat to the note.
I have a feeling we have some rogue takes of you being like, ah!
Yeah, there were definitely so many of them, but I feel like one of them was like, all right.
Yeah. Well, that one sounds good to me. And then same thing in the choruses, we've got both of us like distorted to hell with autotune as well. And the EQ opens up here, so it's more full sounding.
I can't take it, I can't think of what to say. Push my bullet wounds until I start to break. Hazel colors see through me like cellophane. I don't wanna meet your girlfriend.
The I don't want to meet your girlfriend. That did come later. That came like in the last session or something.
Way later. We were like, oh, Ribcage is gonna be the next one to come out. Why don't we write the finishing lyric? Once we decided to like actually start working on it.
Because we just had the silence and like the talking in the background and the tinnitus and stuff. In the very first session, I remember being like, we need to put something there. And then like sort of as we listened to it more, we're like, oh, maybe we don't need to put something there. But then we did.
It's like one of those things where you write the whole song and then you just have writer's block for that last line because there's a lot of pressure writing on it.
Yeah, that line feels kind of obvious to me, like now that we've got it. It's like, of course, that's what it is. Why would we not have thought of putting that there?
I was going through a really big phase of wanting to stutter everything. I'm still going through it. Every time when I write something, I'm like, what if it's like, Like we have this other song that we play in our live set that has a lot of.
Oh, yeah, you.
Breathe when I'm not with you. Yeah, it was like around the time we wrote that. And I was like, why don't we just do it for this one too?
It is chopped, but it doesn't sound as chopped as some of the other ones. Maybe because it's slower or something. Each I is the same I. We just copied and pasted it, so. This one might be what I was remembering before, where you're like absolutely screaming. Kind of too high for your voice. So I was like, can you just like absolutely scream it? And if it sounds fucked, it doesn't matter.
Oh
and
my
this is what
God.
we got.
I can't take it. I can't think of what to say.
If I turn off the effects, it's going to sound pretty.
I could already hear it.
I can't think of what to say. Push my bullet
And
words
just-
till they start to break. It's all colors. See through me like cellophane.
I couldn't reach any of those notes. The miracle that you got anything out of me.
Yeah, no, it was mad. When you distort stuff, it sounds mad anyway. Like this. Like even those like little testy pops of like you not quite nailing it, they sound mad with the distortion and the auto-tune. And especially just like stuck underneath everything. It's just a bit of like.
I can't take it. I can't think of what to say.
It's just a vibe. Oh, the second verse. So we wrote this song with Hannah, our friend Hannah, who is Laura, Lora, if you want to listen to some really cool music. And she just had a song called Lost that came out. And I really wanted to copy that sort of vibe in the bass because it has like a crazy MIDI bass. I think it's this. So it ended up being not that similar, but I wanted to have that kind of really moving, quick bass thing. Double it up the octave. So we added all that. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I love this video.
So that ends up coming in over the choruses in the end as well. Yeah. So we end up putting the same part but on different instruments. For the second verse, we added in these like stick clicks and just samples, so it was like less crazy hi-hat action. Little explosions. And there's this little fill at the end. Is this maybe that melody as well? It sort of comes back a couple of times just with different tones. That was like the second chorus there. It becomes on this like MIDI synth thing. And then it happens here in the bridge on guitars. And the outro, it's in like a little cutoff frequency thing. We added these crazy distortion guitars. That synth ends up doubling. So it's like kind of everywhere, that melody. So when we get to the bridge / last chorus, we sidechain to this crash. So it's just going like hectic high end. Sounds so cooked, but altogether it just adds like this really intense like shh kind of noise. So it's just like absolutely sending it in noise land. We've got live bass here, just slamming it as well. Same thing with not enough sub, so it was this originally. And I wanted a bit more low end, so I added like the same part. I just like dropped it down an octave. It's almost not even sub, it's just like. All this stuff is just adding hype, anxiety, and like exploding out until we get to the outro where it calms down. So the I don't want to meet your girlfriend thing. Wow, we put a lot of stuff on this, but it sounds really cool. So this is what we got. Adding like automating this. But that's all from this, like, it's a free plugin called Vaha Frequency Echo, but if you put it on stuff, it just sounds crazy. And we also had, I think this was me doing like the high harmony yelly things.
Oh yeah.
Some ambience. I think that's pretty much it. Then we get back to the outro, which is like sort of the intro again with the quiet acoustic guitar. And we try and turn this massive lead down into like the smaller lead. So we have the, which then turns into. Oh, we also added this hiss and more tinnitus through the end and stuff. But yeah, we really wanted it to end with that, just the ringing.
I feel like so much happens and it's like so thrashy. There's a lot going on for it to end with tinnitus. I don't know, it feels cinematic almost.
That's kind of how those situations happen for me, in my head at least. You know, like in like big concert or night out and everything's loud and then you like come away from it, it's just like so quiet that like,
I think we wanted to show that feeling of a lot happening, being really overwhelming, and then all of a sudden you're by yourself. Because it's all meant to be happening in your head. So there's a lot going on in the song, but at the same time, it's kind of simple. As in the stuff that's going on is all just to like add to that big anxious breakdown, you know?
A lot of like textural stuff rather than extra parts. Even the parts that happen with different sounds, they're all the same part, just slightly different tonally to help build it and shape it. Thanks so much for watching our production breakdown. If you want to support our music, go listen to it a lot. Add it to playlists. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us everywhere where you probably
go watch the music video on YouTube. It's already out.
Yeah, it's actually sick. We built like a cage.
Lots of plastic. It's all part of the same vibe.
Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.
Bye.